going on, everybody? And welcome back to the channel and happy Halloween. It is Halloween. It is October 31st, and it's time to rank the entire Halloween franchise, or at least all the films that I reviewed on this channel. I reviewed 10 films, including, of course, the original Halloween movie, Halloween 2, Halloween Season of the Witch. I did the entire Cult of Thorn trilogy. I did the 2 new movies, and I even did H2O and Resurrection. So I reviewed 10 movies, and we are going to get into this entire ranking right now. This is from worst to best, my personal worst to best. Not necessarily corresponding exactly to the scores I gave. I've had more time to think about kills. I've had more time to think about some of these movies and the flaws and the things that I like and don't like. This is my personal list from the movie that I least likely ever want to watch to the movie that I get most excited for and I really enjoy. So it's just my personal ranking. You're going to disagree and people will get angry. Please don't get angry. I know it's the internet, but hey, just give me your ranking. Give me your thoughts. It's going to differ than mine. That being said, let's get going and starting at number 10, Halloween Resurrection. Why the hell do I own this? I don't know. I just wanted to buy it because I wanted to complete the collection. What the hell do I have this for? Get the hell out of here. Halloween Resurrection is an absolute embarrassment to the franchise. Not only do they kill off Laurie Strode in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie unceremoniously, they throw her away like garbage. Not only that, but they retcon one of the best endings in the entire franchise with H2O, and they do so with one of the most ridiculous retcons I've ever heard of. Makes absolutely zero sense. They want to convince us that that man in the mask at the end of Halloween H2O was not Michael Myers, but just some random paramedic. Yet everything he did was Michael Myers, including coming back from death, surviving all kind of insane trauma that would kill a normal person, acting like Myers, moving like Myers, looking like Myers. Everything said Michael Myers, but nope, it's just a paramedic.
Hey, fuck you, man!
So after the entire franchise gets destroyed within the first 10 to 15 minutes, we get an extremely generic, boring, cliche horror film that absolutely neuters Michael Myers and makes him a little bitch. And the way he meets his demise in this movie, absolutely pathetic, cringeworthy dialogue all over the place. Extremely hard to watch this movie. It's absolutely terrible. It comes in at number 10, Halloween Resurrection. Number 9, I'm actually going to put Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, I gave it a decent review because there is a lot of good in this, but you also killed off a beloved character and threw her away like trash, and also treated the corresponding actress, Danielle Harris, like trash by not offering her a decent salary to reprise her role as Jamie Lloyd.
Hey, fuck you, man!
You also kind of mistreat Michael Myers, maybe not as much as Resurrection, but now you decide to make, this Cult of Thorn storyline, and he's not pure evil. He's not, without motivation. He's basically controlled by this cult, and it's just so weird, and I just don't like it. I think the producer's cut is probably even worse. Haven't seen it yet, but overall, this movie is just not really that great. Now, there is some really good kills. There's some pretty good cinematography, some pretty good environment, some pretty good music, some cool guitar effects. So I'm not saying it's absolute trash, bottom of the barrel. That would be Resurrection. But because of those sins that it committed, I'm not going to put it any higher than number 9 on my list. And I also really don't look forward to watching it when it's time to watch it. I just get that feeling. I'd rather watch Halloween Kills than this movie. Speaking of Halloween Kills, believe it or not, it's coming in at number 8.
Hey, fuck you, man!
Just be glad it didn't get any lower than that. And the only reason it didn't is because it didn't exactly, insult the entire franchise, kill off any characters within the first 5 minutes, anything like that. It just, I thought, was just not good with the script and the dialogue and the actions of the characters, and it's just constant throughout. Constant. The whole mob storyline, I just didn't like it at all. It didn't make sense how many times they got Michael Myers down. They're smashing him, they're hitting him, but they don't have any kill shot. They don't shoot him in the head but the whole movie is, building up, evil dies tonight, whatever it takes. We're going to take him out. Everyone seems to acknowledge that this guy is really hard to kill, but he has to be killed at all costs, no matter what. Even an innocent man can die at the expense of this quest to take out Myers. And then when they have him down, they kick him a few times back up. And it's just so dumb. Not just that, but the dialogue overall in this movie, the way people talk, it's just so unrealistic. It's really over the top. And, you can watch my reviews if you want a more detailed analysis. The kills are really good. Michael Myers is awesome. James Jude Courtney is great as Myers. But I thought even there, it wasn't as good as Halloween 2018. So even there, I thought it was a little flat. And that's probably because there was just so much time with the dialogue, with the mob storyline. And Jamie Lee Curtis is not even, she's in the hospital bed the entire movie. Some really weird humor, picking up the little cheese knife. I got my knife, Lil John. I got my knife, Big John. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people really pissed off at me for my review of that movie, but I didn't like it. I don't like it. Comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we got Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This is a movie I absolutely don't hate like a lot of people do. I recognize its flaws. There are way too many ridiculous jump scares in this movie. The way that they develop Jamie Lloyd in here and have her not talk, have her be a mute for half the movie, I thought was a mistake. And this film also killed off someone early. A lot of people were offended by that. If you really love Rachel as a character, I can understand why. And I liked Rachel a lot in Halloween 4. But I thought that Jamie Lloyd was kind of the heart and soul of Halloween 4 and 5. And I thought she was going to kind of be the leader of this, be the main character of this trilogy here. But they disposed of her at the beginning of 6. So the killing of Rachel in this one, I thought was kind of unexpected. Like, holy shit. I thought it was cool, but I can understand if someone's really loved Rachel, that could piss you off. Also, a lot of people don't like the way Dr. Loomis was portrayed here, kind of going crazy, kind of shaking Jamie Lloyd, kind of just going out of his mind. I thought it actually made sense for, his arc here from Halloween 1, 2, thought he killed him, tried to blow himself and Michael up. He's back. Halloween 4, had to watch Jamie turn evil. Halloween 5 now, she's protecting Michael. At some point, he's going to just break. Why are you protecting him? Why, bitch? And yeah, I still prefer the other Loomis from Halloween 1 and 2, the more calm Loomis, but I just thought it made sense that he's going to start to lose it a little bit. That aside, though, I thought Michael was brutal in this movie. The mask looks terrible, no doubt about that, but there are some really cool scenes in here. I thought the climax was pretty badass. I thought Michael Myers going after Jamie Lloyd in the laundry chute was freaking amazing, and there were some pretty cool scenes here, and there was also some horrible scenes here and some horrible moments. The music, the cops, the comedy there, I was like, that was just terrible. There were some cringe moments in here, no doubt about it. And I mentioned the horrible jump scares, constantly fake outs, constantly over the top insulting fake outs in this movie. But I actually enjoyed this movie. I really do. So it's a movie I look forward to, and I don't think it's that terrible, not that great, not that terrible. Halloween 5. Which brings us to number 6. Just above Halloween 5 is actually going to be Halloween 2018. I just reviewed Halloween 2018. A lot of great things in this movie. They did so much right in this movie. That tracking shot with Michael Myers was absolutely amazing. The introduction of this movie was pretty damn cool. Myers kills. He's all over it. I mean, keep going back to Michael Myers. The music is awesome in the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome in the movie. But I thought, although I prefer the H2O storyline with Laurie Strode, I thought it was a little more realistic. Change her name, get the hell out of Dodge, move somewhere else, try to get something that resembles a normal life. I thought that was a little more likely than the Sarah Connor version where she's stockpiling guns and getting ready to defend herself and her family 40 years later. But that being said, you don't want to copy H2O. You want to give us something fresh. If you're going to go ahead and redo it basically and try again with a sequel to the original Halloween, okay, go in this direction. It's interesting, but overall, the problems with this movie: constant comedy that's not funny at all. A weird twist in this movie. It's like comes out of nowhere and really doesn't mean anything because the twist happens and then the guy gets killed, Dr. Sartain, and that twist is over and it didn't mean anything. You're like, okay, well, what was the point of that? And again, some pretty bad dialogue, especially the beginning. A ton of exposition. The way people talk, just giving us information that most people should already know because we should have watched the original Halloween, but they didn't want to call it Halloween Returns or Halloween 2 because they wanted more people to come see it. So they just said, okay, instead of that, we'll just call it Halloween, even though it's a sequel. That's just stupid, absolutely idiotic. They call it Halloween, even though it's a sequel to Halloween, then put just a shit ton of expository dialogue during the first 20 minutes to fill people in, and people talk completely unnatural. So those are my problems with it, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable, pretty damn good. The kills were awesome. Michael Myers is awesome. Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome. I really enjoyed her granddaughter in this movie, although there's the stupid phone in the Jello part. I really enjoyed her. I thought she was pretty good. Overall, I enjoyed Halloween 2018, and that's why it's as high as it is. But in at number 5, we got Halloween H2O. This is a pretty big jump from Halloween 2018. From here on up are movies I absolutely love. From here on up are movies I adore. Halloween H2O is freaking awesome. The only reason it's even this low is there are some things I didn't like about it. There was the Ronnie storyline at the end where he obviously gets killed. He gets shot multiple times. It appears a big old pool of blood, and then he comes back at the end with a flesh wound, or just barely the bullet barely grazed him, but he was clearly unconscious and looked to be dead. So I didn't appreciate that. There was a time this movie would have been higher on my list, but I didn't know about the multiple masks. Once you notice the multiple masks, you're like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Are you stupid or something?
Y'all couldn't just pick a good mask and stick with it. You got the alien mask, you got the Halloween 6 mask, you got the normal mask that they used that didn't look that great. Then you got the CGI mask. You guys used a CGI mask. Just for that, you're not going to be any higher on this list. But that aside, this movie is freaking awesome. I love the end of the film. I love the whole Laurie Strode storyline. I think it's more realistic. I love the interaction between her and her son. And it's a really fun movie, and it's pretty awesome. It goes by, pretty smooth, pretty quick. It's never boring. It's just, and there's actually a lot of suspense in it as well. It kind of reminds me of the first Halloween, because Michael Myers is just not constantly killing throughout. He does show up at the beginning, so we get some kills there. And then there's a time where he's coming, but you just don't know when or where. And it does get a little bit suspenseful there. And it's like, kind of reminds me of the first one. But once he's back, and once it's on like Donkey Kong at the end, oh my God, one of the best climaxes in the entire franchise. The way this movie ends is badass. This should be the definitive ending to the Laurie Strode storyline, in my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do when Halloween ends, but as of now, this is it right here. H2O is awesome. The way it ends kicks ass, and I love this movie. Bringing us to number 4, and that's Halloween 2. This movie is awesome. I think it's just such a seamless sequel to the original. You go straight into Halloween 2, and it just picks up right where you left off. The hospital setting is kick-ass. And once Michael Myers gets there and starts, killing people in that hospital, some of the best kills in the franchise, the dunking the girl's head in the scalding hot water, oh my God, absolutely brutal. The one scene where he takes a knife and he puts it in the girl and lifts her off the ground with one hand. He just holds her like this. It's absolutely horrifying, and it shows the strength of Michael Myers, and he's just so brutal. He's absolutely awesome in this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is back. She doesn't get a whole lot to do, but she gets more than she got to do in Halloween Kills. She was in a hospital, but we actually see Myers get to the hospital and go after her. She has to run from him. There's some tension there. It's pretty awesome here in that third act. Very different than what we see in Halloween Kills. I know that wasn't supposed to be a final conclusion, but still, we never really get to see Laurie Strode and Michael Myers do anything together. And also, Dr. Loomis in this movie, still coming after Myers. He's the one who says, get out of here to Laurie Strode. He's going to take care of it. He's going to sacrifice himself to get rid of this evil. And if you don't want to say that Halloween H2O is the definitive ending, well, this was supposed to be the definitive ending. If you want to just say Halloween 1 and 2 and that's it, that's my Halloween, that's awesome right there. Love Halloween 2. But a movie I enjoy just slightly more, ever so slightly more, is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. This movie has nothing to do with the rest of the franchise. Just a complete anomaly. But you know what? I'm going to put it pretty high on my list because I really love this movie. It's just a really cool storyline, a really cool script. Obviously, John Carpenter's involved. You got a different score that's absolutely badass here. This movie's got guts. This movie is entertaining. This movie's just check out my review to get all my thoughts on this one. I'm not going to go too long because, like I said, it's not even a really Halloween movie. It shouldn't be called Halloween. It should have been called Season of the Witch, and that's it. And I think if they did that, this might be a horror classic. But unfortunately, they threw Halloween 3 on it, and people were pissed off. They're like, well, where the hell is Michael Myers? But the idea is such an original plot here, a diabolical plan to just murder a bunch of kids on Halloween when they put on these masks, when they watch this creepy-ass commercial. When it actually airs, they show one kid actually get killed, and he's wearing the mask. He goes down, all these worms and these bugs and stuff's crawling. It's absolutely just insane. And the way it ends, not to spoil it because check it out, the way this movie ends, that's how you end a horror movie. Holy shit. This movie is freaking awesome. And believe it or not, these last two are very, very close. You would have think obviously the original has to be number 1, right? To be honest, I had to really think about it. I really did. I am going to put Halloween 4 next as my second favorite Halloween movie, just barely below the number 1, which we all know what that's going to be. But, Halloween 4 is just so kick-ass. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's pretty much a horror masterpiece. The only reason I won't put it quite at number 1, there are some missteps in this movie. The mask is pretty cringeworthy, although it does make sense with the continuity that it's a new mask. He went and picked up a new mask at the store, so it's nice, clean, and white, but just doesn't look as good. It's not as scary. So that could have been better. Also, there's a really cringy exposition dump right at the beginning of this movie that you got to get through, and I think it was completely unnecessary. It's there, you know, when they're taking the elevator, and this guy who works at the insane asylum just basically explains the entire plot of Halloween 1 and 2 to a couple of people who are there with him, and it's like, that was not necessary. That's bad. Other than that, holy shit, the kills in this movie, Michael Myers, not just killing at random for no reason. Every kill has a purpose. He's trying to get back to Haddonfield. He's trying to take out the power. He's trying to get to Jamie Lloyd. Speaking of Jamie Lloyd, she is awesome. Amazing actress. Danielle Harris is amazing. She absolutely knocked it out of the park in 4 and 5 and deserved to be back in 6 with a decent salary, you mother effers. Rachel's a great character in this one, and Dr. Loomis is back. He is absolutely awesome here as well. But, you know, as entertaining as it is, as awesome as this movie is, the ending is what makes it so great. I personally think the most ballsy ending in the franchise, yeah, H2O was awesome, but as far as just a completely unexpected ending, something that I didn't see coming first time I watched this, and I was like, oh my freaking God. This could also be considered the definitive ending of Halloween if you wanted to. That might be my favorite. Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, boom, over. Which brings me to Halloween. The 1978 classic, absolutely amazing movie. The introduction showing that POV shot of little Michael Myers going after his sister, and then he's got with the knife, the clown costume. The parents get home. Now that back tracking shot that they back out is pretty cool. You might say, well, why are the parents just standing there? I just assume they're just in shock. They're looking down like, what the hell, Michael? What's going on? And he's just standing there like, holding the knife. Pure evil. Dr. Loomis in this movie, he brings the heart and soul into this movie right here. Everything he says, that's when you're just like glued to the screen listening to him talk about, you know, how he first brought him in, he wanted to help him until he realized that was pure evil behind those eyes. Laurie Strode, of course, is absolutely amazing here. Jamie Lee Curtis, she is awesome. And just the entire plot, you have the little girl here, Lindsay's in this movie, she's awesome. It's just absolutely terrifying without just having constant kills. It's not in your face. You're just waiting for this guy. He's there in the shadows all the time. He comes out of the shadows. It's a very spooky, very scary movie. And when he does kill it, you don't always just see it just right there. Sometimes you see the aftermath. Sometimes you see it during the kill. This may not be the most brutal Myers, but it's probably the scariest Myers, the creepiest Myers. And of course, this is where it all started. This is where the music, the score, we first hear it. Absolutely amazing. John Carpenter, he just killed it with this movie. And the way it ended here, a great ending. There was not intended to be a sequel there. They made them into a sequel. John Carpenter, Deborah Hill are like, fine, we'll do a sequel. They did a great job with Halloween 2, but this was intended to be a one and done. And it does stand alone as a great film. Now, I love Halloween 2. Probably never going to watch this without following it up with Halloween 2, but I can definitely see this as a standalone horror classic, an absolutely amazing film. It is brilliant. It is a masterpiece, and I am going to put it at number 1, and that is 1978's Halloween. So there you have it. That is my ranking of the Halloween franchise. Halloween Kills fans are pissed off. Hey, it might move up next year. I'm going to redo it next year, or whenever Ends come out, I will review Ends, and then we'll redo the ranking. We'll see if it moves up. I'll check it out again. I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to give it another chance. But as of right now, that's my ranking. That's how I feel about this franchise. Let me know what you guys think. Also, shout out to that original movie for that mask. You guys, maybe it was just absolute lightning in a bottle. You had no clue. I said, go buy some masks. Got this William Shatner mask. Let's spray paint it white, see what happens there. Let's cut the eye holes a little bigger. Spray paint the hair. That's good enough. You just made one of the most iconic horror masks of all time. Amazing movie and amazing franchise. I really love this franchise despite the stinkers at the bottom. It's great overall. Love Michael Myers. Love Jamie Lloyd. Love Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. And this entire cast, minus those last couple of movies that I mentioned. Love y'all. So you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know what you think. Put your ranking down below. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you're enjoying the reviews. And we will talk to you next time. Happy Halloween.